Namaskar, good morning, and greetings to all our viewers. I am Abhay Kumar, and together with my dear friend and fellow commentator, Shri Pramod Kumar Pandey, I welcome you to this launch event being telecast live from the Mission Control Center at Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. We are here to bring to you the live coverage of PSLV-C34 Cartosat 2 series satellite mission carrying 20 satellites, 3 of them Indian and 17 satellites from customer countries Indonesia, Germany, Canada, and the USA. Today's launch will take place at 9:26 a.m. Indian Standard Time from our second launch pad. It is primarily a remote sensing mission with a sun-synchronous polar orbit of 509 kilometers circular with an orbital inclination of 97.5 degrees. We are around 26 minutes from launch. Today's flight is the 36th flight of Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, the PSLV, and 14th flight of PSLV-XL, the most powerful amongst PSLV variants. In PSLV-XL, the 4-stage core vehicle is augmented by 6 solid strap-ons called PSOM-XL. As I have mentioned, today we are carrying 20 satellites with a total mass of 1,288 kilograms. The main satellite is ISRO's own Cartosat 2 series satellite. The other 2 Indian satellites are Satyabama Sat, developed by the students of Satyabama University, Chennai, and Swayam satellite, developed by students of College of Engineering, Pune. We then have customer satellites. Out of these, 4 are 100 kg class microsatellites accommodated in our dual launch adopter, and 13 are nanosatellites. The microsatellites are Lapan A3, Biros, M3M Sat, and SkySat Gen 2-1. The 30 nanosatellites are GHG Sat and 12 Dove satellites. Another important objective of today's mission is the demonstration of 2 restarts of the 4th stage and the consequent orbit change. This will be done well after the injection of all satellites into orbit. The weather conditions here are very favorable. It has been a pleasant morning and wind speeds are quite low. A small wind speed of 5 to 6 meters per second prevailing, and which is better for the launch vehicle, though the launch vehicle is robust enough to carry forward and handle much larger winds. We are now around 24 minutes from launch.
नमस्कार, मैं प्रमोद कुमार पांडे अपने वरिष्ठ साथी श्री अभय कुमार जी के साथ सतीश धवन अंतरिक्ष केंद्र से आप सबका अभिनंदन करता हूं, स्वागत करता हूं। आप देख रहे हैं ध्रुवीय उपग्रह प्रक्षेपण यान C34 कार्टोसैट 2S अभियान का सीधा प्रसारण। उड़ान की तैयारियां पूरी हो चुकी हैं। तैयारियों की विस्तृत तकनीकी समीक्षा भी हो चुकी है। प्रक्षेपण प्राधिकरण मंडल ने उड़ान की अनुमति दे दी है। उड़ान प्रस्थान का समय भारतीय समयानुसार सुबह के 9:26 का रखा गया है। उड़ान के लिए उल्टी गिनती लगभग 48 घंटे पहले सोमवार से शुरू हो चुकी है और अब हम उड़ान के नजदीक पहुंच चुके हैं। रॉकेट को भिन्न भिन्न खंडों में बनाकर यहां सतीश धवन अंतरिक्ष केंद्र लाया गया और उन खंडों को आपस में जोड़ने का काम 11 मई से शुरू हो चुका था और यह रॉकेट अपने अभियान पर जाने के लिए तैयार है। हम थोड़ी ही देर में इससे संबंधित एक फिल्म आपको दिखाने वाले हैं। इसी बीच में आपको यह बता दूं कि इस अभियान में कुल 20 उपग्रह प्रक्षेपित किए जाएंगे, जो कि इसरो के इतिहास में पहली बार हो रहा है। इनमें से 3 उपग्रह भारतीय हैं व 17 उपग्रह विदेशी हैं। इस अभियान में अमेरिका, कनाडा, जर्मनी व इंडोनेशिया के उपग्रह जा रहे हैं। जो 3 भारतीय उपग्रह छोड़े जा रहे हैं उनमें से प्रमुख हैं कार्टोसैट 2S, यह भारतीय अंतरिक्ष अनुसंधान संगठन ने निर्मित किया है। 2 अन्य उपग्रह भारतीय शिक्षण संस्थाओं के हैं। इन सभी उपग्रहों की विस्तृत जानकारी हम आपको समय समय पर देते रहेंगे। ये सारे उपग्रह सूर्य तुल्यकाली ध्रुवीय कक्षा में स्थापित किए जाएंगे, क्योंकि ये सभी सुदूर संवेदी उपग्रह हैं। अब हम आपके लिए रॉकेट्स के संयुक्तिकरण पर थोड़ी देर में एक फिल्म प्रस्तुत करने वाले हैं। उसी बीच में एक बता दूं कि एक खास प्रयोग भी हम इस अभियान में करने वाले हैं, वह है चौथे चरण के इंजन का 2 बार पुनर्प्रज्वलन। यदि हम ऐसा करने में सफल हुए तो हम एक ही अभियान में 2 अलग अलग कक्षाओं में उपग्रह प्रक्षेपित कर पाएंगे। अब हम थोड़ी जानकारी आपको अभियान के तैयारियों के बारे में भी देना चाहते हैं।
वीडियो।
आप देखिए, इस समय आपको एक एक व्हीकल के इंटीग्रेशन पर एक फिल्म हम दिखाते हैं।
We shall now present to you a short video on integration. You can see the core base shroud and the nozzle end segment now being moved for assembly on the mobile launch pedestal at our solid stage preparation building. The core base shroud is now sitting on the pedestal, and next we are assembling the various segments of PS1. You can see 2 segments already assembled and the third segment being moved. It has total 5 number of segments, and you can see chart director on screen. This is a 200th segment joint, a milestone for us, and you can see how delicate and how crucial this. Now the igniter of first stage, which itself is a small rocket, is being assembled. The RCTs are now being assembled, and we are now assembling the one interstage between the two first and second stage. These are our strap-ons. The strap-ons are slowly being moved to the assembly building for integration with the first stage. You can see the crucial operations being made. 2 strap-ons are already assembled, and now we are moving from SSAB, our facility of solid stage integration, to the vehicle integration building where the full vehicle will be integrated. On the MLP, you saw the PS1 coming. Now the remaining strap-ons are being assembled here. And the first stage is now nearly assembled completely. This is the final strap-on being assembled, and a majestic view of fully assembled first stage is in front of you. Second stage.
अब आप देखेंगे कि अंतर चरण को संयोजित किया जाएगा। इसके साथ ही प्रथम चरण और द्वितीय चरण के बीच के इंजन और बीच की स्टेज का संयोजन कर दिया जाएगा, और उसके बाद आप इस समय देख रहे हैं तृतीय एवं चतुर्थ स्टेज को ज्वाइन होते हुए, और इसको रवाना किया गया है, और इसको भी व्हीकल से असेंबली के लिए लाया जा रहा है।
Now the satellites is being prepared for integration with the vehicle. The final checks on the satellites going on. This is Cartosat 2 series being carefully moved for assembly on the payload adapter. Now you can see the dual launch adapter, upper portion of that, along with Cartosat 2 being assembled to the lower portion of dual launch adapter. The dual launch adapter is now ready, and it's being containerized for movement to the vehicle integration building. The flag off to vehicle integration building is being seen. This is the satellite being moved to our vehicle integration building. PS4 being prepared to receive the adapter. Here you can see the adapter being put on PS4. Now the satellite is totally assembled, and then you see the heat shield being slowly closed, and the vehicle now will be ready for movement to the second launch pad.
आप देख रहे हैं कि वाहन अपनी पूरे भव्य रूप में तैयार है, जो कि इस समय रवाना किया जा रहा है प्रमोचन स्थल की तरफ। प्रमोचन स्थल इस भवन से करीब 1 किलोमीटर की दूरी पर है, और वाहन को बहुत धीरे धीरे गति से वहां तक ले जाया जाता है। इसकी गति लगभग 7 मीटर प्रति मिनट की रखी जाती है, ताकि वाहन को इस गति से कोई हानि ना हो सके। और रॉकेट अभी आप देख रहे हैं द्वितीय प्रमोचन स्थल पर पूरी तरीके से तैयार खड़ा हुआ। एक बहुत बड़े प्रचालन के बाद ये कार्यक्रम संपन्न होता है।
Welcome back to the live telecast. You can see our chairman, Shri S. Kiran Kumar, on screen, flanked by senior scientists and center directors. And now I shall share with you some details of PSLV-XL vehicle. The stacking of PSLV-C34 in our launch vehicle assembly building commenced on 11th May 2016, and the final 48 hours countdown to the launch commenced day before yesterday after the vehicle was moved to the second launch pad on 18th of June. PSLV-C34 has a liftoff mass of 321 tons and is 44.5 meters tall, with a core diameter of 2.8 meters and heat shield diameter of 3.2 meters. The first stage of PSLV is called PS1, and it employs our all-powerful S139 solid booster. It has a peak thrust of 4,800 kilonewtons and burns for around 105 seconds. It is 20 meters in length and has 138.2 tons of solid propellant. Each of the 6 strap-ons attached to the PS1 are the bigger version of our strap-ons called XL. They burn for about 55 seconds with a specific impulse of 266 seconds. They are 1 meter in diameter and 12 meters long. The second stage of PSLV is called PS2, and it employs our Vikas engine with 42 tons of liquid propellant loading. It has a steady state thrust of 800 kilonewtons and burns for about 150 seconds. The third stage, called PS3, is again a solid motor with composite motor case, which offers significant payload mass benefits. The final stage, the PS4, is using its heaviest version, that is 2.5 tons of propellant loading. This twin-engine pressure-fed configuration has a steady-state total thrust of 15 kilonewtons and burns for about 493 seconds in this flight as per the requirements of orbit. Now, a very important event is going to take place. That is, taking the launch as launch time as T, the T minus 15 minutes, the mission director, Shri B. Jayakumar, will authorize the launch to the vehicle director. The director will then proceed with further activities like ALS. Now you can see the mission being authorized. Pandit ji.
अभियान निदेशक ने वाहन निदेशक को उड़ान के लिए अधिकृत कर दिया है। अब उड़ान से लगभग 12 मिनट पहले स्वचालित प्रक्षेपण अनुक्रम आरंभ कर दिया जाएगा और उसके बाद सारी गतिविधि कंप्यूटर प्रणाली द्वारा संचालित होगी। मैं इसी बीच आपको वाहन के बारे में और जानकारी दे दूं। वाहन के जिसको हम ध्रुवीय उपग्रह प्रमोचन यान कहते हैं, 3 संस्करण हैं। एक मूलभूत संस्करण है जिसमें 6 स्ट्रैप ऑन होते हैं, दूसरा केवल कोर वाला संस्करण है जिसमें स्ट्रैप ऑन नहीं होते हैं, और तीसरा एक्सेल वाहन है जिसमें बड़ी लंबाई के 6 स्ट्रैप ऑन होते हैं। आज की उड़ान उसी एक्सेल वाहन द्वारा की जा रही है। यह तीनों संस्करणों में से सबसे शक्तिशाली संस्करण है। इस वाहन का कुल भार 320.9 टन है और इसकी ऊंचाई 44.5 मीटर है, जो लगभग 15 मंजिली इमारत की ऊंचाई के बराबर है। ध्रुवीय उपग्रह प्रक्षेपण यान के प्रथम चरण को PS1 कहा जाता है, जिसके करीब 139 टन ठोस ईंधन भरा होता है। इससे 4,800 किलोन्यूटन अधिकतम प्रणोद या बल प्राप्त होता है। इस चरण का विशिष्ट आवेग 270 सेकंड है। इसका प्रज्वलन लगभग 105 सेकंड तक होता है। रॉकेट के द्वितीय खंड, जिसे PS2 कहते हैं, में विकास इंजन का उपयोग होता है। इसमें तरल ईंधन का उपयोग होता है। ईंधन की मात्रा 42 टन है। इसका प्रणोद बल लगभग 800 किलो न्यूटन का है। यह खंड लगभग 150 सेकंड तक कार्य करता है। इसका विशिष्ट आवेग 293 सेकंड है व इस चरण की लंबाई लगभग 12.8 मीटर है। तृतीय खंड ठोस ईंधन से युक्त है। इसका अधिकतम प्रणोद बल 240 किलो न्यूटन है। अंतिम चरण PS4 है, जिसमें प्रणोदक भार 2.5 टन है। यह तरल ईंधन इस्तेमाल करता है। अब हम आपको डेकू द्वारा निर्मित PS34 अभियान के ऊपर एक चलचित्र प्रस्तुत करेंगे।
We now bring to you a short film on PSLV-C34 produced by DECU. Our development.
The development of launch vehicle technology began in the early 1970s in India with the determination to achieve self-reliance in the area of being able to launch all class of satellites in the required orbits. An important milestone towards achieving this goal was the first experimental satellite launch vehicle, PSLV-C34, developed in 1980, which was capable of placing payload weighing 40 kgs in low Earth orbit. An improved version of this augmented satellite launch vehicle, ASLV, was successfully launched in 1992. ASLV was configured with a mission of orbiting 150 kg class satellites into 400 kilometer circular orbits. ISRO further applied its energies to the advancement of launch vehicle technology, resulting in the creation of its workhorse, the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, PSLV. PSLV registered its first successful flight with PSLV-D2 in October 1994. It was later operationalized in 1997 with the launch of PSLV-C1, and in these more than 20 years, ISRO has perfected its regular operational launch capability with PSLV, thereby mastering rocket science. With 34 consecutive successful flights, PSLV has proved itself to be one of the world's most reliable launch vehicles. It has made India self-reliant in launching satellites weighing up to 1,750 kgs into the polar orbit and 1,425 kgs to geosynchronous transfer orbit. PSLV has launched various historic missions like Mars Orbiter Mission, Chandrayaan-1, Space Capsule Recovery Experiment, Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System IRNSS, etc. For the very first time, PSLV-C2, by launching 3 satellites, demonstrated multiple satellite launch capability. Since then, 17 missions of PSLV have launched multiple satellites in a single mission. In 2008, PSLV created a record for most number of satellites placed in orbit in one launch by launching 10 satellites into various low Earth orbits. At the end of June 2016, PSLV-C34, in its 35th consecutive launch, will again make history by launching 20 satellites in a single mission. The vehicle is carrying 4 micro-Earth observation satellites weighing 85 to 130 kgs, each belonging to foreign agencies. M3MSat of Canada will collect and study automatic identification system signals from low Earth orbit. SkySat Gen 2.1 of USA is for Earth imaging. Lapan A3 of Indonesia is for Earth observation, for land use, natural resources and environment monitoring. Pyros of Germany will monitor and study the high temperature events of the Earth. The rocket is also carrying 15 nanosatellites weighing 4 to 30 kgs each, which includes Canada's Earth observation satellite GHG-SAT-D, 3 quad packs containing 12 Dove satellites from USA, and 2 student satellites, one each from Satyabhama University and Pune Engineering College. Overall, the PSLV-C34 mission is launching 17 satellites of foreign agencies, including those from US, Canada, Germany and Indonesia. The PSLV-C34 mission is launching ISRO's latest cartographic satellite, which is 4th in the series of satellites. As a follow-on mission, it will provide high-resolution images in panchromatic and multispectral bands. The satellite carries 4 cameras, which were designed, fabricated, assembled and tested at Space Applications Center, SAC, Ahmedabad, while the optics for the cameras were provided by Laboratory for Electro-Optic Systems, LIOS, Bengaluru. Both the panchromatic and the multispectral cameras provide continuous imaging. Panchromatic camera takes grayscale pictures of the Earth in the visible region of the electromagnetic spectrum. The multispectral camera will provide data for color images using 4 bands of the electromagnetic spectrum. Space Applications Center has developed new technologies in detection systems, camera electronics, including power electronics and miniaturization of mass and volume. The spacecraft has been designed, integrated and tested by ISRO Satellite Center, ISAC. The spacecraft's onboard computer, sensor processing, attitude and orbit control and thermal control functions, the power generation, communication systems and many others have been developed in ISAC. Subsystems developed in other ISRO centers like inertial systems from IISU, reaction control systems from LPSC and sensors from LEOS are brought to ISAC, where they are assembled and integrated into the spacecraft. The solar cells mounted on the solar panels generate the necessary power for the spacecraft. Lithium-ion batteries store the generated energy to support the spacecraft during payload operations and eclipse. The antenna systems of the spacecraft will transmit the recorded payload data from the spacecraft to ground stations. The data from the satellite will meet the increasing user demands for cartographic applications at village, town, or sub-meter level for the development of various urban and rural resource management, coastal land use and regulation, utilities mapping, LIS, GIS, and disaster monitoring applications. Till now, PSLV has successfully orbited 33 Indian and 57 foreign satellites belonging to agencies of 21 countries. PSLV, with its capability of launching multiple satellites and in different orbits, is truly ISRO's most versatile launch vehicle.
Welcome back to the live coverage. We are 5 minutes and 32 seconds into the launch. The vehicle is under automated launch sequence and everything is proceeding as per plan. I shall now give you some details of the satellite on board. Apart from meeting our own satellite launch requirements, we have so far provided launch services on board PSLV for 57 customer satellites from 20 countries. The main spacecraft today in this mission is the Cartosat 2 series satellite of ISRO. It is an advanced remote sensing satellite and weighs 728 kilograms. It carries panchromatic and 4 bands multispectral cameras and will provide a host of remote sensing applications and will also augment the data services to users. The next Indian satellite on board is the Satyabama Sat. It is a nano satellite weighing 1.6 kilograms and its objectives are to monitor the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere and to obtain a pollution model for India. The Swayam is also a nano satellite weighing 1 kilograms. It is a passively stabilized satellite with a dipole antenna and its objective is to develop a bidirectional communication platform. Next, we have 17 customer satellites. The Lapan A3, weighing 120 kilograms, is an Indonesian microsatellite for Earth observation, for land use, natural resources, and environmental monitoring. The Biros, weighing 130 kilograms, is a small scientific satellite from DLR, the German Aerospace Center. And its main mission objective is sensing of high temperature events.
4 minutes.
The M3M Sat from Canada, weighing 85 kilograms, is a technology demonstrator. Its primary mission is the collection of automatic identification system, that is AIS signals, from low Earth orbit. The SkySat Gen 2-1 is a small Earth imaging satellite from Terabella, a Google company in California. It weighs 109 kilograms and will capture sub-meter resolution imagery and high-definition video. GHG-SAT is a nanosatellite from Canada. It has a mass of 13.5 kilograms and is an Earth observation satellite built by the Space Flight Laboratory of the University of Toronto. Finally, we have Planet Labs Dove satellites, 12 in number, each with a mass of 4.7 kilograms. These are Earth imaging satellites housed in 3 quad packs dispensers during the launch. By a careful design, a safe separation of all these satellites is ensured. We are now about 3 minutes to launch.
इस समय हम प्रमोशन से केवल 3 मिनट की दूरी पर। इस दौरान मैं आपको उपग्रहों के बारे में थोड़ी जानकारी दे दूं कि कार्टोसैट 2S कार्टोसैट 2 श्रृंखला का उपग्रह है जो इस उड़ान में जाने वाला मुख्य उपग्रह है। यह पूर्व के कार्टोसैट 2A व 2B के समान है। आज के ध्रुवीय उपग्रह प्रक्षेपण यान C34 द्वारा इसे 500 किलोमीटर ऊंची सूर्य तुल्यकाली ध्रुवीय कक्षा में स्थापित किया जाएगा। प्रक्षेपण के पश्चात इसे प्रचालित किया जाएगा, फिर इसके कैमरे कार्य करने लगेंगे। यह सुदूर संवेदी सेवाएं प्रदान करेगा। इसके मुख्य उद्देश्यों में शामिल हैं मानचित्रों का निर्माण, समुद्र तटीय भूमि का उचित प्रयोग, सड़कों की निगरानी, जल वितरण प्रबंधन, भौगोलिक व अन्य निर्माणों का अध्ययन। इसका भार लगभग 728 किलोग्राम है। दूसरा भारतीय उपग्रह जो जा रहा है वो है सत्यभामा सेट, जो कि सत्यभामा विश्वविद्यालय चेन्नई ने बनाया है। इसका मुख्य उद्देश्य ग्रीन हाउस गैसों के आंकड़ों को प्राप्त करना है। इस उपग्रह का कुल भार 1.5 किलोग्राम का है। तीसरा भारतीय उपग्रह है स्वयं, जो कि कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग पुणे ने बनाया है। इसका मुख्य उद्देश्य है हैम रेडियो समुदाय को संदेश वाहन सुविधा प्रदान करना। इसके अलावा जो विदेशी उपग्रह जा रहे हैं वो हैं लापान A3, जो इंडोनेशिया का उपग्रह है। इसके मुख्य उद्देश्य हैं भूमि उपयोगिता की ज्ञान प्राप्ति, प्राकृतिक संसाधनों की जानकारी व पर्यावरण पर निगरानी। इसका भार 120 किलोग्राम है। M3M सेट कनाडा का उपग्रह है। यह एक सूक्ष्म उपग्रह है। इसका उद्देश्य है पृथ्वी की निचली कक्षाओं से स्वचालित पहचान प्रणाली संकेतों को एकत्र करना व उनका अध्ययन करना। GHG सेट D भी इसमें जा रहा है। उपग्रह, यह उपग्रह भी कनाडा का है। यह भी भू अवलोकन उपग्रह है। इसका निर्माण टोरंटो विश्वविद्यालय की अंतरिक्ष उड़ान प्रयोगशाला ने किया है। अगला उपग्रह जो इस अभियान में जा रहा है वो है बायरोस, जो जर्मनी का उपग्रह है। यह एक वैज्ञानिक उपग्रह है। इस उपग्रह का मुख्य उद्देश्य उच्च तापमान वाली घटनाओं की सुदूर संवेदी तकनीकी द्वारा जानकारी प्राप्त करना है। इसके अलावा जो सैटेलाइट जा रहा है वो स्काईसैट जेन 2-1 और इसके साथ ही डब उपग्रह जा रहे हैं जो अमेरिकी उपग्रह हैं।
We are only 20 seconds from launch and now we go quiet for few moments to let you have feel of the launch.
अब हम सिर्फ 13 सेकंड की दूरी पर हैं। प्रमोशन होने वाला है।
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, +1, +2, +3, +4, +5.
Majestic liftoff, majestic liftoff with the core and
शानदार
coast of
तरीके से
+10 seconds.
वाहन ने अपना स्थल छोड़ा और इस समय वाहन अपने मार्ग पर जाते हुए, और आप अपने स्क्रीन पर देख रहे हैं कितने भव्य रूप से ये वाहन अपने पुनर्निर्धारित मार्ग पर जाते हुए।
The airlift strap-ons are ignited and now all the 6 strap-ons and the core is thrusting. This is the most powerful phase of flight. The dense atmosphere of Earth is being successfully negotiated by our PSLV launch vehicle. Excel is on the way, and the next event is the separation of 4 ground rate strap-ons, which will happen at 70 seconds from liftoff.
आप देख रहे हैं कि पहले चरण का इग्निशन हो चुका है और जो भूमि पर प्रज्वलित होने वाले थे स्ट्रैप-ऑन्स, उनका भी प्रज्वलन हो चुका है, और जो हवा में प्रज्वलित होने वाले स्ट्रैप-ऑन थे उनका भी प्रज्वलन हो गया है। आप अपने स्क्रीन पर देख रहे हैं किस तरह से वाहन अपने पूर्व निर्धारित मार्ग पर जाते हुए।
In a few moments, we are going to have the separation of 2 airlift strap-ons, and after that, the core will function independently for another 20 seconds. The airlift strap-ons are now separated.
हवा में प्रज्वलित दोनों स्ट्रैप-ऑन मोटर्स इस समय पृथक कर दिए गए हैं, उनका पृथक्करण हो गया है। इस तरह से सभी स्ट्रैप-ऑन मोटर्स का पृथक्करण हो चुका है।
Burnout of first stage completed. The second stage will be now ignited.
बहुत खुशी की बात है कि प्रथम चरण पृथक हो चुका है और अब द्वितीय, तृतीय, चतुर्थ चरण रॉकेट को अपने पथ पर आगे ले जा रहे हैं।
The next event will be the separation of alleged motors. Alleged motors are very crucial in providing positive acceleration to the vehicle during the transition from the solid to the liquid stage.
इस समय करीब 142 सेकंड की उड़ान हो चुकी है और वाहन ने 2.19 की गति प्राप्त, किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की गति प्राप्त कर ली है। वाहन अब भारत के से करीब 150 किलोमीटर दूर है।
The heat shield is now separated. We are at an altitude of 115 kilometers. where the dense atmosphere has been crossed, the protection, thermal protection to the satellites is no more required, and hence heat shield is jettisoned. Now the vehicle is under closed loop guidance, and the second stage is being guided by our guidance
3
system
minutes.
to its desired
Second
point
stage
where
performance
it
normal.
will be shut off once those conditions are achieved.
बंद परिपथ निर्देशन प्रणाली को आरंभ कर दिया गया है और इस तरह से यह वाहन को नियंत्रित करती रहेगी और अंततः सारे उपग्रहों का प्रक्षेपण करेगी.
The PS2 is employing a liquid engine with unsymmetric dimethyl hydrazine as the fuel. The oxidizer is nitrogen tetroxide N2O4. Second stage is performing as per plan, and you can see the pre-flight predicted path in red and the green dot, which is the current vehicle position,
Second stage
right
performance
over
normal.
one over another.
वाहन इस समय करीब 193 किलोमीटर ऊंचाई तक पहुंच चुका है, जो
Plus 4 minutes.
भारत से करीब करीब 355 किलोमीटर दूर है और वाहन की गति इस समय 3.7 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड हो चुकी है और लगभग 250 सेकंड की उड़ान अब तक पूरी हो चुकी है.
We are in an altitude of 215 kilometers, and shortly we will have the shutdown of PS2 as
PS2
planned.
stay separated.
तृतीय चरण का प्रज्वलन हो चुका है. दो चरणों ने अपना कार्य कर दिया है, जो बहुत अच्छे तरीके से किया गया है. अब तृतीय चरण वाहन को आगे ले जा रहा है. इस समय वाहन 263 किलोमीटर ऊंचाई पर पहुंच चुका है.
The third stage motor case is made
Third
of a
stage
composite
performance
material
normal.
offering significant payload benefits. The propellant used is hydroxy terminated polybutane, which is a very efficient solid propellant and used
Plus
in
5
all our
minutes.
stages of solid performance, that is the first stage and the strap-ons as well. We are now at an altitude of 260 kilometers, and the third stage performance is perfectly normal. We also are about 650 kilometers away from the launch pad now.
इस समय तृतीय चरण की उड़ान चल रही है, जो करीब
Third stage
381
performance
सेकंड
normal.
तक चलेगी. उस समय तक वाहन 326 किलोमीटर ऊंचाई तक पहुंच चुका होगा.
Now you can see our customers on screen. The customers from Indonesia, Canada, Germany, and the United States of America. They are very much engrossed and very intently viewing our launch proceedings. We have been launching customer services for all across. Now you see the experts, our
Plus 6
experts
minutes.
on screen, very carefully monitoring the launch as it proceeds. Now you can see that PS3 has burnt out, and the combined coast of third stage and fourth stage has started. We intentionally give a combined coast so that favorable conditions of PS4 ignition are achieved, and the third stage residual thrust
PS3
nowhere
burnout.
intervenes with the fourth stage during its ignition.
थोड़ी ही देर में आप
Performance
देखेंगे
during
कि
combined
तृतीय
posting
चरण
is
भी
normal.
अपनी उड़ान को पूरा कर लेगा और फिर हम चतुर्थ चरण और अंतिम चरण के इंजन को प्रज्वलित करेंगे. ऐसा 497 सेकंड में किया जाएगा. उस समय वाहन और उसके साथ उपग्रह करीब करीब 423 किलोमीटर ऊंचाई तक पहुंच चुके होंगे और उस समय वाहन की गति करीब करीब 5.9 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की हो चुकी होगी.
Plus 7 minutes.
आप
You
देख
can
रहे हैं इस समय हमारे विदेशी मेहमान जिनके की उपग्रह इस अभियान में जा रहे हैं, वो इसका प्रतीक्षा करते हुए कि ये उपग्रह कब कक्षा में प्रक्षेपित किए जाएंगे और उन्हें इसका बेसब्री से इंतजार. आप पूरी दर्शक दीर्घा में देखिए सभी देशों के वैज्ञानिक. अब आप देख रहे हैं
Performance during combined coasting
रॉकेट
is
का
normal.
परिपथ और चतुर्थ चरण के प्रज्वलन शुरू होने की घोषणा थोड़ी देर में की जाएगी. उसके लिए सब लोग इंतजार करते हुए.
The fourth stage is going to ignite at around 497 seconds from liftoff. We are right now at 470 seconds. In another 20 seconds, now you see on screen our chairman, Shri A.S. Kiran Kumar, very intently monitoring the launch, along with director of Satish Dhawan Space
Plus
Center
8 minutes.
and flanked by the director of Liquid Propulsion System Center, Shri S. Somnath. Shri Kunni Krishnan is also our chairman of the Launch Authorization Board. And now we are very close to the ignition of
PS3 stage separated.
PS4. The third stage has just been separated.
PS4 engine started.
चतुर्थ चरण का इग्निशन यानी कि प्रज्वलन घोषित कर दिया गया है। अब चतुर्थ चरण अपना कार्य शुरू कर चुकी है।
The fourth stage has been ignited. We are in the last leg of our launch, where the fourth stage will slowly and steadily provide the velocity required for orbit. The velocity required is 7.6 kilometers per second inertial velocity.
Fourth stage performance normal.
The fourth stage will now perform for nearly 495 seconds. And as the fourth stage performs and everything is as per
Plus 9
plan,
minutes.
the third stage has just been separated, and I would like to share with you the importance of stage separations in launch vehicles. The spent stages of a multi-stage launch vehicle are separated from the main vehicle once their useful life is over. The separation should be smooth and collision-free under all possible circumstances. No undue body rates may be imparted on the ongoing vehicle. The PSLV employs various types of separation system. The strap-ons are separated in sensible atmosphere and they are jettisoned using a set of springs. The first stage separates from the vehicle using the flexible shaped linear charge that is FLSC. There are 8 retro rockets on first stage to impart the separation velocity. Then the heat shield halves are separated by linear bellow system explosive cord, which is a pressure cord and is encased in the piston cylinder
Plus 10
assembly
minutes.
along the heat shield. Moment band bolt cutter separation mechanisms are used for second stage separation, and there are 4 retro rockets to provide the jettisoning force. The third stage separation uses ball lock release type mechanism, and springs give the relative velocity. All the spacecraft separations are spring assisted. By a very careful and elaborate analysis,
Fourth
a
stage
safe separation
performance
meetings
normal.
all mission requirement is ensured for each of the separations, both in short term and in long term orbit propagation. A proper separation sequence of satellites is designed to ensure this.
आपको इस दौरान हम पृथक्करण प्रणालियों के बारे में थोड़ी जानकारी दे दें कि ध्रुवीय उपग्रह प्रक्षेपण यान एक बहुचरणीय यान है। ये तो आप सभी जानते हैं। यान के निष्क्रिय हुए चरणों को यान से लगभग उनके कार्यकाल के खत्म होने के बाद अलग कर दिया जाता है। यह पृथक्करण की प्रक्रिया ऐसी होनी चाहिए ताकि पृथक हुआ चरण यान से ना टकराए, साथ ही यान भी अपने नियंत्रण में रहे। इस अभियान में कई पृथक्करण प्रणालियां उपयोग की गई हैं और जो पृथक्करण घटनाएं हैं उनमें स्ट्रैप-ऑन मोटरों का पृथक्करण, फिर क्रमशः प्रथम, द्वितीय व तृतीय चरण की मोटरों का पृथक्करण, अंत में उपग्रहों का एक के बाद बारी बारी से पृथक्करण। ध्रुवीय उपग्रह प्रक्षेपण यान में कई पृथक्करण प्रणालियां हैं। स्ट्रैप-ऑन पृथक्करण उड़ान के वायुमंडलीय चरण के दौरान होता है। इन्हें स्प्रिंग बलों के द्वारा अलग किया जाता है। इसके बाद प्रथम चरण का पृथक्करण होता है, उसमें FLSC जिसको अंग्रेजी में फ्लेक्सिबल लीनियर शेप चार्ज प्रणाली कहते हैं का प्रयोग होता है। साथ ही 8 रेट्रो रॉकेटों का भी ताकि पृथक होते हुए प्रथम चरण को पर्याप्त पृथक्करण त्वरण व वेग प्रदान किया जा सके। ऊष्मा कवच का पृथक्करण पिस्टन सिलेंडर प्रणाली द्वारा हो जाता है। द्वितीय चरण के पृथक्करण में मर्मन बैंड बोल्ट कटर प्रणाली का उपयोग होता है, साथ ही 4 रेट्रो रॉकेटों का भी उपयोग किया जाता है। तृतीय चरण का पृथक्करण बॉल रिलीज प्रणाली द्वारा किया जाता है। पृथक्करण बल स्प्रिंगों द्वारा प्रदान किया जाता है। तत्पश्चात उपग्रहों का चतुर्थ चरण से पृथक्करण होता है जो स्प्रिंगों द्वारा किया जाता है। इन सभी प्रणालियों का पूर्ण रूप से विश्लेषण किया गया था और यह सुनिश्चित किया गया था कि पृथक्करण सुरक्षित व सटीक हो।
PS4 will now burn for another 150 seconds and then the orbital conditions will be achieved. PS4 is a very efficient motor and we are planning a another experiment, a very crucial one in this mission regarding PS4. We are going to restart PS4 twice in this mission. You can see our chairman and senior scientists, our center directors are sitting along with chairman and very carefully monitoring
13 minutes.
all the parameters of the launch, everything as per plan. As you can see, the red dot and the green dots moving one over another.
आप देख रहे हैं उड़ान का चतुर्थ चरण और अब तक करीब 792 सेकंड की उड़ान हो चुकी है और वाहन की गति 6.8 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड हो चुकी है। वाहन अब भारत से करीब करीब 3,300 3,400 किलोमीटर दूर पहुंच चुका है। उस समय उसकी ऊंचाई 517 किलोमीटर है। इस दौरान मैं आपको एक खास प्रयोग के बारे में बताना चाहता हूं। जैसा कि हमने बताया कि ये चतुर्थ चरण न केवल उपग्रहों को प्रक्षेपित करेगा बल्कि इस बार 2 बार इसको पुनः प्रज्वलित भी किया जाएगा। ऐसा इसलिए हम कर रहे हैं कि अगर हमें इसी अभियान में या किसी भी अभियान में एक ही अभियान में 2 या 2 से ज्यादा कक्षाओं को में उपग्रह छोड़ना हो तो चतुर्थ चरण को पुनः प्रज्वलित करना आवश्यक हो जाएगा। चौथे चरण के इंजन के पुनर्प्रज्वलन का प्रदर्शन ध्रुवीय उपग्रह प्रक्षेपण यान की C-29 उड़ान में किया गया था, परंतु आज के अभियान में यह 2 बार पुनर्प्रज्वलित की जाएगी। यह एक महत्वपूर्ण प्रयोग है। इस तकनीक के द्वारा 2 अलग अलग कक्षाओं में उपग्रहों को छोड़ा जा सकता है। अभी ऐसा संभव नहीं हो पाता है क्योंकि अभी कोई भी अभियान केवल एक ही कक्षा में सारे उपग्रह छोड़ पाता है। पुनर्प्रज्वलन 2 बार होगा और दोनों बार लगभग 5 सेकंड का होगा। उड़ान प्रस्थान से 990 सेकंड बाद चतुर्थ चरण का इंजन बंद कर दिया जाएगा ताकि उपग्रहों को उनकी कक्षा में स्थापित किया जा सके। लगभग 1590 सेकंड तक सारे उपग्रह प्रक्षेपित कर दिए जाएंगे। अंतिम उपग्रह के प्रक्षेपण के लगभग 52 मिनट के बाद चतुर्थ चरण के इंजन का पहला पुनर्प्रज्वलन किया जाएगा जो लगभग 5 सेकंड तक चलेगा। उसके बाद इंजन को फिर बंद कर दिया जाएगा। बंद करने के 47 मिनट बाद इंजन को दूसरी बार पुनः प्रज्वलित किया जाएगा जो कि 5 सेकंड अवधि का होगा। ये दोनों पुनर्प्रज्वलन रॉकेट की कक्षा को पूर्णतः परिवर्तित कर देगी। पहले पुनर्प्रज्वलन की जानकारी नॉर्वे के स्वालबर्ड भूकेंद्र से प्राप्त होगी और द्वितीय पुनर्प्रज्वलन अंटार्कटिका के ट्रोल भूकेंद्र से देखा जा सकेगा। चतुर्थ चरण के पुनर्प्रज्वलन के समय सभी उपग्रह चतुर्थ चरण के ढांचे से कम 6 किलोमीटर की दूरी पर रहेंगे ताकि उनमें आपस में कोई टकराव न हो सके। चतुर्थ चरण के पुनर्प्रज्वलन की सभी तैयारियां पूरी कर ली गई हैं और हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि यह प्रयोग पूर्णतः सफल होगा।
The PS4 engine restart is planned to be done twice as a functional requirement for injecting satellites in 2 different orbits in a subsequent mission. These restarts also provide the mission designers with more flexibility for subsequent mission designs. Both the restarts will be a total duration of 5 seconds each
Plus
with
16
a
minutes.
steady state burn duration of 3 seconds. These 2 restarts will totally change the orbits in which the 20 satellites are delivered, and that is what we intend to demonstrate. The restart timing constraints were carefully chosen so that the orbital height, inclination and RAN are all changed for validation purpose. For this, the PS4 engine has to ignite twice at appropriate times decided a priori. Also, we would like to share with you that all
PS4
satellites...
engine shut off. Injection conditions are achieved.
Okay, the orbital conditions are achieved. The PS4 has been shut off and the orbital conditions have been achieved. We now wait for the injection of satellites after proper reorientation of the stage. Cartosat will be injected now, any moment.
चतुर्थ चरण अब अपनी कक्षा में पहुंच गया है, उस ऊंचाई पर पहुंच गया है जहां पर सारे उपग्रहों को प्रक्षेपित किया जाना है। इसलिए अब चतुर्थ चरण को और ऊंचाई पर ना पहुंचाने से बचाने के लिए बंद कर दिया गया है। अब थोड़ी देर में आप देखेंगे कि कार्टोसैट 2S पृथक हो चुका है।
Cartosat 2S will be injected. Now, in another 35 seconds, after another careful reorientation of the stage to achieve proper injection conditions, which will keep the spacecraft safely away from Cartosat, the Satyabhama Sat and Swayam satellite will be together injected within a gap of 440 milliseconds.
थोड़ी देर में आप देखेंगे कि दूसरे उपग्रह भी एक के बाद एक प्रक्षेपित किए जाएंगे और इनके बाद
Satyabhama and Swayam satellites are separated and placed in the orbit.
Satyabhama satellite and Swayam satellite are separated and injected into orbit.
सत्यभामा सैटेलाइट और स्वयं सैटेलाइट का भी पृथक्करण हो गया है, वो अपनी अपनी कक्षा में पहुंच गए हैं।
Plus 18 minutes.
The PS4 is right now undergoing another careful reorientation for the injection of next two satellites. Before these satellites are injected, we will inject out the upper portion of a dual launch adapter, and from inside the dual launch adapter, four satellites, the four macro satellites will be injected.
लपान A3 पृथक किया जा चुका है, वह अपनी कक्षा में पहुंच गया है। बायरोस भी पृथक किया जा चुका है, वह अपनी कक्षा में पहुंच गया है।
Lapan A3 and Biros are now separated, and shortly the other two satellites, that is M3M and SkySat, will be separated.
थोड़ी देर में आप देखेंगे कि M3M उपग्रह व स्काईसैट भी अपनी अपनी कक्षा में प्रस्थापित कर दिए जाएंगे।
PS4 is now undergoing another careful reorientation so that we have a favorable direction of ejection for both M3M and SkySat. The separation of the M3M and SkySat are now separated.
Are separated and placed in the orbit.
M3M सैटेलाइट और स्काईसैट दोनों पृथक्करण हो चुका है और वो अपनी अपनी कक्षा में प्रस्थापित हो चुके हैं।
Shortly, the microsatellite GHGSat will be separated, and that will be our 12th satellite to be injected into orbit. GHGSat is now separated.
Is separated and placed in the orbit.
GHGSat सैटेलाइट का भी पृथक्करण हो गया है, वह भी अपनी कक्षा में प्रस्थापित कर
About
दिया
the
गया है।
plan, separation events of the next 12 dose satellites, they are monitored from an Antarctica station called Troll. They will be announced shortly.
Now you can see
Mission Director,
the
separation of Cartosat
the
series satellite and
conclusion
seven
of
co-passenger satellites
this
is
mission
confirmed.
in the sense that the
Confirmation
12
for the remaining
satellites
12
DOW,
satellites will be
which will
available after
be
15
separated little
minutes.
later, and they will be the separations will be confirmed from the ground station at Troll, Antarctica,
started generating power.
where after 400 seconds the Troll station will acquire our PS4, and then the recorded separation information will be received by us. You can see our chairman and senior scientists congratulating each other. Now our chairman is going to speak shortly to all of you, and we say goodbye to you from here. Thank you for being with us, and let us hear our chairman speaking to us now.
इस प्रसारण के दौरान
Good morning to all of you. Today, PSLV-C34 has done its job, and we have the current generation of Earth observation satellite Cartosat 2 series, and along with this, another 17 satellites have been put into the orbit, and we will get the confirmation for the DOW series of satellites shortly. Now, I'd request Kunni Krishnan, Director SDSC, to say a few words.
PSLV would be at the pinnacle of joy and pride, because immediately after the successful completion of a major task assigned to it of launching 7 navigation satellites to form the constellation NAVIC, today it has accomplished yet another major milestone with 20 satellites, 17 satellites from other countries, 2 from the Indian Academia, and 1, the major satellite, Cartosat 2 series. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the entire ISRO team. By marking 35 consecutive successful missions, today, forging closer and closer to the ultimate reliability figure, today, PSLV has now become a success symbol for ISRO and for the country. By making successive missions in a short span of time, in that process, we have been adopting more and more professionalism in our launch campaign activities. This time, the first stage of the vehicle was independently prepared in the newly reconfigured assembly bay, SSAB, and then moved to the vehicle assembly bay for further integration. And this practice will be followed for the coming missions as well towards seamless and parallel integration in terms of the number of launches from the second launch pad. At this juncture, I would like to acknowledge the resounding efforts and contributions by all the members of our ISRO family spread across the country, and of course the Indian industries. They have very much stood by us. I am so glad that we were able to provide world-class launch service to our esteemed customers from other countries. As has always been the case, ISRO never gets carried away by the huge successes. Already we have geared up for the upcoming missions defined by Chairman ISRO. The coming days are going to be hectic and at the same time very exciting because of the variety of missions ahead. GSLV-F-05 with INSAT 3DR, followed by the first developmental flight of GSLV Mark III from the second launch pad. In parallel with, we are going to have a multiple of PSLV launches from the second launch pad. And Director VSSC has already proposed for the air-breathing launch from SHAR. That will be done from the sounding rocket complex of SHAR. I am sure we all will portray the same enthusiasm and vigor for our upcoming missions also to stage more and more heights and ISRO's status to stage more and more heights. And let's all work together for ISRO and for our country at large. Thank you.
Good morning. Yes, our team have accomplished successfully a major landmark mission of PSLV, carrying PSLV-C34 Cartosat series satellite mission, carrying 20 satellites in a single shot. With this, in this mission, the PSLV has hit another record of century of satellites being launched by PSLV. In fact, precisely it is 113 numbers so far. And this is the 36th PSLV launch and fourth launch in this year itself. And as you know, this carrying 20 satellites, it involved a lot of complexities in the mission planning, right from the mission planning as well as the accommodation of all 20 satellites within the available limited volume, payload volume available, and a lot of innovations have been built into the mission. And really our team ISRO has done it pretty well. You have seen the vehicle performance has been excellently well. The orbit achieved is very precise against prediction of expected value of 505. It is very close to that. It's 507 kilometers. That's the order of precision we achieved, and it should give the immense the satellite teams. I think it will be a lot of enthusiasm to them because the fuel what they have accounted for this initial orbit correction can be preserved for extending the life of the satellite. So this is the order of PSLV performance. And in fact, this mission, it gives immense confidence to us to make commitment for very much more complex missions and is carrying still larger number of satellites, and soon we will come out with a very large number of satellites to be launched in PSLV. And it's an excellent thing, and we have the excellence available in ISRO, so only we have to utilize that. And really our industry counterparts, they have been helping us in a big way by supplying to us very precise, high quality products, so that can be used, which are all used in this mission, and they are meeting the launch schedule requirements also. And let me take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank the team ISRO, the senior members who are always with us in guiding us and helping us to resolve the technical issues, and the industry counterparts. And let me also wish good luck to the satellite teams for early commissioning of the satellites successfully. Thank you.
Making history is a way of life in ISRO. It is a proud moment for all of us that our beloved PSLV injected precisely 20 satellites in that orbit and majestically marching towards to carry out a very important experiment of restart 2 missions. In this historical mission, there are a lot of hard work, dedications are begun by our team ISRO. Especially for this mission, we understand the telecommand system designed, developed, and implemented by avionics team, SR team, and SAR team is something wonderful. It's in a record time it is implemented. The PS2 stage prepared in IPRC the record time of 15 days against 50 days earlier. The MEIT team as well as SOG team prepared the payload firing in 12 days against 79 days. The SHAR team in preparing the PS2, instead of 60 days, they were taking 6 days. It is something wonderful experience across the whole ISRO for carrying out this job in a differently, in a distinctly. And let me take this opportunity to congratulate the entire team for carrying out this wonderful job to create the wonderful history in ISRO's the time frame. And at the same time, when you are talking about the great achievements, the days ahead of us are exciting. We are very near to bringing that air-breathing propulsion for launch very soon. And we are coming for Bhatabot test for HSP. And we are going to end this year by a historical launch of GSLV Mark III to carry the heaviest satellite from Indian soil by our own vehicle. And in this great achievements that endeavors, not only for ISRO team, definitely the industry is taking a greater part. And very interestingly, this particular mission, the last hardware supplied by industry on 27th May, and we are ready for launch by 20th June. Such a wonderful experience. And our HAL is already geared up to supply the hardware for carrying out the next mission within a month time. And let me congratulate the entire team ISRO, as well as industry, as well as our customer satellites, as well as our own satellites. A wonderful days ahead. Thank you.
This launch of PSLV-C34, that is very significant because of 2 reasons. One, as you already know, that this is the launch with the maximum number of spacecraft in a single mission. 20 satellites, 1 important satellite from ISRO, Cartosat 2 series, and 19 other co-passengers. It's really a history, and I want to congratulate the team who made it possible by accommodating by novel engineering techniques to put inside the dual launch adapter, as well as the payload, passenger payload deck. Yet another significance here is the plan to do the restart of the 4th stage of PSLV. You know, this restarting of a liquid stage after the primary mission to achieve yet another orbit or another mission goal is something which is very unique. We have not attempted so far, and this time we are doing it as a trial basis. After all spacecrafts are separated, we are going to reignite the PS4 stage. But while doing it, we had a lot of technical issues which need to be tackled. The way the liquid engine will behave when you do the restarting, the margins on various systems in the propellant acquisition, the control thrusters, the balancing of the center of gravity and the controllability, etc. We did a trial in C29. It was hugely successful. And through the demonstration of the restart in this mission, we are going to attempt it for the subsequent missions to place major satellites in different orbits. And the mission is now continuing with the rest of the spacecrafts also separated, I know, successfully. And we are waiting eagerly for the restart of the PS4. 2 times it is going to start, and we are going to demonstrate it again. One more point which I want to tell us directors already mentioned, that this launch, we had a very tight target to do this launch by 20th of this month. And we have really achieved that target. And I want to congratulate again all the team who put effort in all the centers, came out with a novel method of doing it better, efficiently, professionally, with no defects and problems. So this is a great achievement. And coming again are the important missions. We are getting ready with the cryogenic upper stage for the GSLV. It will come soon to Shard for the GSLV-F05. And also the PSLV-C35 mission, we are getting ready with the rest of the hardwares. We are on the different work centers. I am sure the target which is set for us for the rest of the launches also will be achieved. And those who are watching from industry captains, I have one request. You know that now that we are reaching those declared dates for the launch, and our ability to improve the launch rate from the current PSLV launches of about 6 to further 8 or 12 are only decided by our ability of our industry to deliver more hardwares in time, and also to meet the throughput by the delivering and processing the hardwares within ISRO. So we are addressing both these issues in terms of increasing throughput from industry and as well as internal capability to accelerate, as Dr. Shivan said. And I'm sure we will be able to achieve it. Once again, I congratulate all the team ISRO for achieving this great success. Thank you.
Just now we got the confirmation that all the 8 satellites or 12 satellites have been successfully deployed.
Very good morning to all. The PSLV has done once again its job, and the satellite team also has taken over. As rightly seen, Carto 2 series, the panels are deployed and the spacecraft control center has taken over its functions for the further activities. There are 2 more student satellites wherein ISRO has given hand holding, both Satyabama and Swayam also in a place in the orbit. And this marks basically the Carto 2 series. This is basically graduating to the next level of Earth observation. The first of such satellite it is in a place. 2 more satellites are offing before the March of 31st of next year. And we have, when we are doing this, definitely apart from ISRO team, industry is also part and parcel of this as done for the launch vehicle. Satellites also in numbers have to come. 34 plus satellites are in the orbit, and the requirement is 70 more satellites in the next 5 years. That means asking rate is fairly high. Like PSLV puts in multiple satellites in this. The possibility of satellite center also making use of this to have the multiple satellites in the launch, such that the asking rate of instead of singles, I think we have to go for the 4s and 6s. The requirement will be happening. Industries definitely has to come into play. And the very next year, tomorrow itself, we are having a industry meet with the industry partners coming in the bigger way. What they are already contributing, even for this Carto mission, the good contribution from industries are in a place, but this needs to be tripled or multiplied. And both the existing vendors, they have to increase the capacity, and the new vendors also needs to come into play, such that possibility of end-to-end satellites making, we are really seeing. Even for IRNSS, our ground spats, 2 missions, we excellent, our expression of interest has been already in a place. And we have the other packages also in the multiple ways, production modes coming point of view. The people have been asked for it. And this is a good opportunity. When we are time and again, every month almost, we are seeing minimum 1 satellite of ISRO going into orbit. Indian industry also playing a part in a much bigger way. Reliable systems are coming into the space. And that way, it's opening up a market for providing their contributions to the Indian as well as possibly a global satellite arena point of view. We have a good opportunity. And tomorrow we are looking for, Chairman and myself, we are looking for ISRO Satellite Center. Nearly 100 and odd industries registered for their participation, either active participation along with the team ISRO. I think we have the miles and miles to go. An opportunity is offering. And over and above that, this is again, after a long time, 2 student satellites a part of the ISRO mission, and the hand-holding with the student universities in a place as a part of capacity building. Academia also can play a role. Very innovative satellite operations, very innovative satellite missions. I think they can provide the opportunity. This has given again an opportunity. And while giving best of wishes for both the student satellites and the Carto 2 mission also, in the coming days will get operationalized. With that, days ahead, we have more and more satellites in the place. When recently we are in Vienna also, this 20 to 70 satellites requirement, whatever they are looking for, the world space is looking for how the PSLV is delivering, and that requirements also being inquired for that. Over and above that, this is again, after long time, 2 student satellites a part of the ISRO mission, and the hand-holding with the student universities in a place as a part of capacity building. Academia also can play a role. Very innovative satellite operations, very innovative satellite missions. I think they can provide the opportunity. This has given again an opportunity. And while giving best of wishes for both the student satellites and the place, when recently we are in Vienna also, this 20 to 70 satellites requirement, whatever they are looking for, the world space is looking for how the PSLV is delivering, and the requirements also being inquired for that. Over and all, this is our asking rate, our requirements more, and the possibility of global market. We are caching both satellite as well as the launch vehicle also in a place. My very best wishes for all the contributors. Thank you.
Chairman ISRO, distinguished professors, seniors, my dear colleagues all over ISRO centers and DOS, my hearty congratulations for the fantastic success of this particular C34 Carto series mission. And we had excellently achieved a very high orbital injection accuracy using the new INS, the Mark 4A, where the new generation accelerometer is first introduced as in the operational mission of launch vehicle. And for this, in addition to that, the capability-wise, as the demands is gone up largely, IASU have already realized more the capability, utilizing the maximal efficiency of the in-house as well as the resourcing. Industry partners, more than 10 launch vehicle missions systems we are able to reach. We have already reached the target, and more than 10 spacecraft missions capability we have already reached, and we are marching to increase this capability further. And today, the spacecraft high resolution cartography satellite, all inertial systems, I was told, has been functioning very well, and all systems functioned extremely well. On this joyful, happiest occasion, I once again express my hearty congratulations to all ISRO DOS colleagues to take ISRO to a higher and higher level to take our country forward. Thank you.
Let me also join my colleagues in congratulating Team PSLV for this fantastic success. A couple of months back, when we were reviewing the status, we never thought this launch is possible today from the schedule point of view, because a lot of work remained to be done. And I take this opportunity to thank the teams which worked day and night in BSSC as well as in IPRC Mahendragiri to ready the subsystems for this launch. In IPRC, we are also looking at more participation from industry in future integration of stages. And through this activity, we would like to increase the industry participation in the technology side also, so that they'll be able to come into the launch vehicle activities in a big way. The launch of 20 satellites and 19 small satellites especially points to a new business area that is being developed, and maybe this is of interest to Indian industries as well to look into that and may make plans to participate in future so that this can be tapped in over the Indian skies also. So I once again take this opportunity to thank the teams, to congratulate the teams, and let us wait for more successes to follow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. First, let me compliment PSLV for successfully injecting Cartosat 2 series satellite into the orbit, and another other 22 satellites into the orbit. Cartosat 2 series satellite, the fourth in the series, has joined its family with Cartosat 2, 2A and 2B. This satellite is the latest satellite in Indian remote sensing satellite with new technologies, and the satellite for the first time is having TDI mode of operation to carry out imaging functions. The satellite health is normal, panels have deployed, it has started generating power. In the coming days, we have series of activity on the satellite to calibrate various systems, to validate the functions of payload and its associated parameters. I wish The satellite will enhance the application areas in the cartography and will deliver more and more information required for the users. At this moment, I sincerely thank Chairman ISRO for continuous support and guidance given to us throughout the realization of this spacecraft, and also our center director as well as director of other centers for their continuous support, and also all ISRO members who have supported this project directly or indirectly in all the phases of realization. Thank you.
Let me congratulate the entire ISRO team for the wonderful job they have done in ensuring that we have been able to successfully put all the 20 satellites in a record time. And we have a lot of activities ahead where we are attempting to complete a sequence of Earth observation satellites and also a geostationary PSLV Mark II, and along with Mark III later this year. And I wish the entire ISRO team wonderful days ahead. Thank you.